bow, 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 bow. That's the fade now. It's me just doing the music. So that's how we're starting the show now. Is maybe I should just instead of having the music, I should just have a me doing like acapella stuff. Or just like, bow, 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 bow. Welcome to the show, coming soon. Bow, 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 bow. You know, dumb stuff like that. Would I get more viewers? Maybe. Welcome to Jon Does. This is the show Jon Does, where Jon does stuff and then talks about it. Sorry, I gotta put the excuse me. I put the plate on the battery. Forgot to do that yesterday. Whatever. So yeah, welcome back to Jon Does. This is it's my channel. Welcome. I talk about stuff. I've been talking about movies and TV stuff, and I've got more movie and TV stuff today. I talk about music. I talk about my life, which partly, I'm going to school to be a film director. I'm doing a certificate program through the UCLA Extension. So I fill you in on some of the stuff that I'm doing, school-wise and project-wise. And I share some of my other stuff with you. So welcome to the show. And I want to start every episode by talking about my website, wilddinosaur.com. There's a merch store there, and I have designs and on, I got these tote bags, the other day, opened these on air. That one and that one. These are canvas bags with really nice straps, and you can choose what color straps you want for your bag. I got yellow, red, and there are black straps available for other bags. Anywho, so yeah, check out wilddinosaur.com. I got t-shirts, I got sweatshirts, sweaters, socks, tote bags, stickers. I also have these sticker packs that I've put together here that are not available on the website. And if you're interested in a 5-pack of vinyl stickers for $10, hit me up. I got them. I'll mail them to you. You just got to DM me. That's all. What else does the website have? The website has music videos and some of my other content available up there, as well as links to my music streaming on various services. So yeah, that is where you can best support this channel to help me pay rent. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, there's a financial element to this. It helps me make money, and I need to make money, as we all do. That's it. That's it for the opening. I was getting ready to do this show. And sometimes I start putting the graphics together a little bit later. I make my thumbnail image somewhere around 4. And I'm starting to realize sometimes that's not enough time to get stuff done. And if you've stuck with me at all here in the last handful of weeks, you'll know I've talked about doing more stuff with my computer, aka Unreal Engine. I unfortunately had to take it off my computer because it is very big, and I was having a really hard time with like Photoshop functioning or just anything. And so I had to take it off my computer. So I have halted my progress in Unreal Engine because I don't have enough That might be a little too loud. Sorry, I was messing with the audio there. It's just a little too much for my computer to manage, and all the other stuff that I handle too. I'm a pretty decent computer. It's a 2015 iMac. But it it just runs super slow with that like that. So I had to take Unreal Engine off because, I as much as I'd love to learn Unreal Engine, I need to be able to get stuff done too. I needed to be able to do video editing, which I haven't really done any for this show. For this show. But I need to be able to make thumbnails. I need to use Photoshop and stuff like that. So until I find a better place, or the other option is trying to find people who are already interested in Unreal Engine, and that's their learning curve. I think that's something that I would like to do too, is meet people using these softwares. But yeah, Adobe kind of pisses me off. I bitched about it before, but I mean, I don't know if this is a function to turn on or off. I haven't been able to find it. I need to do a little bit more digging. I'm sure it's not super difficult, but dude, every time Adobe updates something, I guess the auto updates are on, but I don't know how to turn them off. Can I turn them off? This is really frustrating. I don't need to be working on Adobe's time. I need to be working on my time. And I was trying to get Photoshop open. Like, I keep them down here in my toolbar at the bottom. And what happens is, whenever they update Photoshop or any of their software, I'll click it to open it, and it might work fine. But then, what did I do today? I shoot photos in RAW, and so that means I have to do a tiny bit of editing, and then export that as a JPEG and then put it in. I'm sure there's a better method. This is just my preferred method. And then I throw that final JPEG in Photoshop, cut myself out, and make the thumbnail that way. So what I did is I took I always this is another thing I need to figure out. Somehow Lightroom became the default program to open up RAW files, and it was never like that. I don't know how it happened. I don't know why it happened. It's something I need to fix, but I prefer to do my camera raw stuff out of Photoshop. So I opened up Photoshop, right click, and open Photoshop, and from there it opens up the newest version. And oh man, it basically deleted the older version off my toolbar, or I don't know why it's not there. It's just like every time there's an update, I have to like go into my applications, and then there's never any like notification that there's an update. It's just whenever I open Photoshop, it's like, oh, hold on, let me verify this because this is a new software. I'm like, no, I've been using this software for 10 years. Like, please stop fucking doing this. This is annoying, and I don't need to be verified every time, and I don't need every version of Photoshop. I just need to cut and paste stuff. That's it. I'm not trying to do intense crazy stuff here, although sure, I can, and I do update Photoshop and stuff like that when I have the time to, but I'm freaking tired of this, of them just like again, I'm sure I'm missing something. There's a lot of stuff I'm doing in general, and I'm sure there's something I've missed in the update or managing Adobe, but this is the kind of stuff that's annoying about Adobe. Is like, I'm trying to get work done, not sit here and do IT work for you. Because, oh, hey, every 3 months there's a new Photoshop version. Like, I don't care. I don't need this. Like, if there's a bug, then do an update and fix the bug. Cool, that's fine. But this is every third time I open Photoshop, this shit happens, and it's a waste of my time, and it pisses me off as a consumer because I charge so much money for look. We can get into the logistics, the financials of Adobe apps and whatnot. And sure, it overall is a pretty good system, but man, is it freaking annoying. And, you know, I started editing on software years ago that was like dedicated to the system. So like the older Adobe stuff, the last one they did, I think, was CS6, where you could like just have it on your computer. Now it's all just like lease-based apps, so you have to pay for it. And God, I just don't want to have to keep up with a system like that. I saw that black flash. That was scary. I don't know what that was. My camera's working fine. Might have been a connection thing. Anyways, connection looks like it's running fine. So yeah, Adobe's pissed me off for the millionth time. And I mean, I got everything done, but it was stressing me out because I try to be here for you guys on time, even though I don't know that many people are here. But that's okay, because I'm here, and that's all that matters. I am God of this channel. I'm gonna hopefully people, you know, sometimes come pouring in at the end of the stream or later on in the stream, and that's okay. I'm gonna say now, tomorrow I'm gonna be on at 6 p.m. instead of 5 p.m. Pacific time, for two reasons. One is Pat will be here tomorrow. Pat is going to be on the show talking about he finished Sandman, and I wanted to discuss another show that I mentioned yesterday, Zapped, with him, because we both love that show, and I want to get you guys interested in checking out Zapped. It's a really dumb show, but it's a really good British like fantasy comedy show. So we'll get Pat in here, and he initially said he could be here at 5:30, but and he doesn't know this yet, but I'm pushing it to 6 because it's a nice round number for one. But I'm also gonna be doing some location scouting for a skit that I'm shooting, and later afternoon works better for my buddy who's helping me out with that. And so I'm going to have to push it a little bit later tomorrow. So 6 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow is when Jon Does will be on, and I will have a guest. So apologies for anybody that can't be here at 6 and prefers the 5 time slot. I don't know if anybody really cares though. So yeah, tomorrow again, I will be on at 6 p.m. What else? What do we got? Yeah. Okay, I got an article to read. This is from Deadline. This is a couple days old now too. But I keep seeing it, and I don't know why, I just like never absorbed with me when I first started seeing this, but it's in regards to this. Ghost of Tsushima. This game was the first full game I completed on that PS5 over there. This game is beautiful. The story is awesome. It is about the I think my knowledge on this is the jury's still out. I understand that the Mongolians never actually invaded Japan. They, I think, had tried and were stopped by a storm or, I guess it would have been like a storm of some sort, hurricane or something like that. So I don't know all of the history, and I don't know if we know all of the history, like as a people. I don't know. I would actually really like to know some of the historical basis of this, if any. It doesn't need to have any. I like the fiction, and I like the nonfiction. Using fiction, I'm writing something that's historical fiction, so I really enjoy historical fiction stuff. And so yeah, this is based on the idea that the Mongolians invaded Japan and took over Japan. And so you have to go through, you were almost killed on the what would essentially be like the D-Day invasion, when the Mongols hit the beaches, from their boats. And so yeah, you're like knocked out, or I forget what happens. You're almost dead essentially in the very beginning of the thing. Somebody saves you and revives you, and you're from a kind of a prominent family or clan in the area, and you start going through and taking out Mongols and recapturing small villages and stuff like that. And there's a ton of side quests. It's an open world game. It's awesome. It is definitely in my top like couple of favorite games of all time. Really like the game. So I'd heard this a couple days ago, and I don't know why. Like, if somebody said there was a Legend of Zelda movie being made, I would like put everything down and start looking at all this information. For some reason, that just didn't happen with me with Ghost of Tsushima. But a couple days ago, I saw this. This is from Deadline. The author is Anthony D'Alessandro. And yeah, so. And the title is Ghost of Tsushima, Chad Stahelski feature take of Sony PlayStation game sets writer with Takashi Dosher. Exclusive. Takashi, Dosher, I think is how you pronounce that, is set to write the screenplay for Sony Pictures and PlayStation Productions film adaptation of the latter's hugely successful action-adventure game Ghost of Tsushima, which crossed a massive milestone in January with more than 8 million copies sold since its July 2020 debut. The project is in early development. The game is from Sucker Punch Studios and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. Follows samurai warrior Jin Sakai, the last surviving member of his clan, who must set aside the traditions that have shaped him as a warrior to wage an unconventional war for the freedom of Tsushima. As Deadline told you in March 2021, John Wick filmmaker Chad Stahelski is attached to direct. Peter Kang is overseeing the project on behalf of the studio. Stahelski, Alex Young, and Jason Spitz are producing through their production company 8711 Entertainment. Assad Quiselbosch and Carter Swan will produce on behalf of PlayStation Productions, and Sucker Punch Productions will serve as executive producers. Dosher's recent screenplay Blue is currently in development with AGBO and MGM and is a twist on the Japanese monster movie. Previously, Dosher wrote and directed romantic sci-fi romance Only, starring Frida Pinto and Leslie Odom Jr., and which premiered in competition at the 2019 Tribeca Film Festival. His debut feature, Still, starring Madeline Brewer, is currently available on Hulu. Dasher also wrote and directed a documentary, A Fighting Chance, which aired on ESPN. Ghost of Tsushima is also PlayStation 4's fastest selling first-party original IP debut, selling more than 2.4 million units worldwide in its first 3 days. The game received 7 nominations at the Game Awards in 2020: Game of the Year, Best Game Direction, Best Art Direction, and it won that. Best Action Adventure, Best Narrative, Best Audio Design, Best Performer for the lead actor. Ghost of Tsushima is the second film to come out of the partnership between Sony Pictures and PlayStation Productions, with Uncharted released earlier this year, which grossed over $383 million worldwide and immediately sparked a new film franchise for the Culver City lot. Sony Pictures Television and PlayStation Productions are also developing the TV series The Last of Us for HBO, with Craig Mazin attached to write and executive produce, as well as action comedy Twisted Metal, based on the original take by Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick. Dasher is repped by Verve, Sugar 23, and Eric Stolzen of Feldstalker Studio. Whatever. That's just the representation. Okay, so this is exciting for me. It's also a little scary. I did watch the Uncharted movie recently, and I didn't really do a review on it, but you know what? I haven't done this yet. I'm going to give it a smelly pit rating. And Uncharted, for me, not knowing anything about the franchise, is, for me, it's like a 3. Yeah, I'll give it a 3. 3.5 smelly pits. That's how I felt about the Uncharted game. Or movie, sorry. It's fine. It's not the best movie, but it was a dumb action movie that was pretty exciting. So, but I haven't played the games yet. I do have that dual pack that's out for PlayStation 5. I have not started that. I'll play that at some point. I have so many games to get through, and I'm currently still addicted to Horizon Forbidden West. I find that to be slightly frustrating and challenging at times. Some of the gameplay can be a little bit, the gameplay mechanics can be a little bit wonky. And I find myself like yelling, like, why won't you climb? When you can clearly see there's a route to climb. That kind of makes me mad. But I got through that, and I progressed as a character, and once you start gaining skill levels and stuff like that, it becomes a lot easier to tackle challenges and mechanical beasts. Which is another property, honestly, I think would be really cool to see in movie format. That's a post-apocalyptic world. I don't remember what year it is, but it's like at least I think it's like 12 to 1300 years from now, I think, is when it takes place. It's definitely about 1,000 years in the future. And, there's a bunch of landscapes, like civilization has fallen, and the survivors that are around are very primitive, but they have access to some technology. And then there's all these like mechanical beasts running around. It's pretty cool. And I think one of my favorite parts is definitely like rolling around the landscapes. Like I just ended up in Vegas recently, and it's just this desert wasteland, but it's pretty awesome. Well, I mean, Vegas is a desert wasteland. It's surrounded by it, at least. So, yeah, I think it's interesting that there's going to be more video game stuff, because there's been a history of video games developed into movies, and they don't always work. The best one ever made is the Mario Brothers movie, obviously. I actually haven't rewatched that since I was a kid. But that one was so bad, Nintendo was like, we're not doing movies anymore. I think they're changing their mind. And obviously, there's that animated Mario movie with Chris Pratt doing the voice coming pretty soon. And there was, I think, talks of them doing like a Legend of Zelda Netflix series or something like that. I don't know. That would have been interesting too. Zelda definitely needs a super huge budget, in my opinion. Or just shoot it all in the volume. But I do like the fact that there are such. Honestly, it's one of the reasons that I started playing video games again in my life, in my adult life, is because there's such great stories and really awesome visuals that can that make really great gameplay. I was just bitching about the Horizon Forbidden West gameplay, but it's still like super entertaining, and the whole world and the story around it is entertaining enough for me to be like, oh, keep trying, don't give up so easily, you wuss, you big wuss. Anyways, it's cool that we are getting or there's possibility for better video game adaptations. I actually didn't mind the recent Mortal Kombat reboot. I thought that was dumb fun, and it was just dumb fun. It was I enjoyed it. I laughed. I was excited about the fatalities and stuff like that. Definitely the beginning of the movies. I kind of hoped there was going to be more of that, the like feudal Japan stuff there, and hopefully they do more of that in the second one. Like I don't care if there's flashback or time travel. I'm not oh, there we go, the camera just decided to slow power mode and it shifts its whatever. See, now I look shrunk. Then of course it turns back on when I refocus or tighten my shot. So yeah, I didn't mind. I did not mind that Mortal Kombat movie, and I would love to see a Ghost of Tsushima movie as long as it's done well. You know, if you put good writers behind it. I don't know Takashi Dasher. I'm gonna look up their IMDb real quick, and so we can see what kind of other things that they've worked on. They've directed a handful of things, so a bunch of shorts and an episode of Chicago PD, Dark Woods. Let's see, writer. There's 10 credits for all of the shorts only, and still. Yeah, I'm not familiar with any of these projects, but Ghost of Tsushima is in the pre-production listing there. So, I mean, it looks like they've done a bit of stuff. They're getting their career going here in Hollywood. So, yeah, we'll see how this works out for everybody involved. Sony and Sucker Punch. Oh yeah, I forgot. Sucker Punch Studios has done I don't remember. Let's see. I guess it was just Ghost of Tsushima and okay, yeah, for some reason I was thinking this was a different studio, but no, Sucker Punch I just remember seeing from playing Ghosts of Tsushima. Games developed: Rocket, Robot on Wheels, Sly Cooper and the Thieves Raccoonus, Sly 2, Band of Thieves, Sly 3, Honor Among Thieves, Infamous and Infamous 2, Infamous Festival of Blood, Infamous Second Son, Infamous First Light, Ghost of Tsushima, and the Director's Cut. And then there's another one coming. I forgot. It's listed as Ghost of Tsushima Legends. I don't know when that's gonna come out. I don't expect that for a couple of years at least. I mean, to follow up something like that, I think you need time. You need a lot of time. I think that game is so good that you don't just rush to put out the next one. Put out something great, and I'm fine waiting a couple of years, because in between then I'm I got other games to get through, and I mean, the one I've been waiting for forever is the Breath of the Wild 2. So whenever that comes out, I'll be researching Hyrule, the remains of Hyrule, until Ghost of Tsushima 2. So I was gonna throw up gameplay as we talked about this just to be fancy, but I was having some issues with that, with getting. I know I was showing trailers yesterday left and right, but for some reason it was like just giving me issues again. So I did not show gameplay for those who have not played the game. Go check out some of the stuff. If you don't play video games, maybe just, I find something that's really fun, or used to be more fun, now that I play games more and more involved. But not being a gamer for so long, but still interested in stuff, I used to watch, the players will take the cutscenes and like edit them all together down to an hour and a half, like movie, and sometimes you get a little bit of the gameplay involved. And I used to watch those just to like see how like a Star Wars video game ended, because people would talk about it, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna play that. I don't have time for that right now, but I want to know, so I just watch like cut scenes from the game and whatnot. But I highly recommend to go play the game if you have the time for it, and if not, check out some of the footage from the gameplay, the trailers, all of it. It's really good, and it was modeled after oh my gosh, what the heck? I'm so dumb sometimes. Yeah, okay. Such an idiot. Yeah, a lot of this was inspired heavily from earlier samurai cinema, as so much was Star Wars, stuff like that. But this is this looks like an Akira Kurosawa film in video game format, and so I think this could be really good film too. It's hard. I mean, so many people try to mimic Kurosawa through film. Like I was just saying, Star Wars, so many, all the westerns from the, like, not all of them, but a lot of the westerns in the 70s, 60s, 70s, they were inspired by Kurosawa films. So that's a hard thing to accomplish, is making a Kurosawa film today. But I think there's potential, and hopefully there's the right teams behind it, because I think we've all missed great samurai films. All right, I'm gonna do a commercial break, and then I'm gonna come back and we can talk about She-Hulk, which I watched last night at midnight when it came out, episode 1. See you in a minute. Feeling low, and has work been breathing down your neck, and you hate it when your friends touch you? Try ecstasy. Sweat the demons out and dance your pants off.
I know it works because I'm on it right now.
May cause sweatiness, dry mouth, and erections. Do not buy ecstasy, as it is still federally illegal, and Dr. Hiram Singh is not an accredited doctor. My retirement plan is a body bag.
pet wedding facilities. And I give these stickers away at every pet wedding. The kids love them too.
This bag from, what's his name? Wild Dinosaur? Weren't they all wild? What an oxymoron. Anyways, I like to put my special things in this bag. Plus, I'm pretty sure this is my spirit animal.
Life gave me lemons, so I sold them for this sweet baseball tee. Don't forget to check out wilddinosaur.com. It's the best place to support this channel. Buy a shirt, buy a tote bag, buy some stickers, buy something. Please, I'm begging you. I'm begging. I get down on my knees and I beg. Buy something from my store, please. All right. Enough with the groveling. So, people have been talking about it for a while. She-Hulk, I think, was very low on a lot of people's radar. And also for people who don't really care about Marvel right now. It didn't scream story expansion so much, you know. It doesn't seem like there's too much. When you think about it surface level, it doesn't seem like there's too much tie-in really to the whole Kang stuff. Yet to be seen though. We're only in episode 1, which came out today, Thursday, Wednesday night at midnight. Actually, technically, here on the West Coast, I don't know how it works for everybody else, but technically it drops on Wednesday night, and not, people will contest, oh, midnight is Thursday. Yeah, well, it kind of drops at like 11:58 or earlier sometimes. With like Kenobi, when Kenobi was on, I was already, watching the first couple of minutes by midnight. So they do drop it a few minutes early. So technically it was Wednesday. If you wanna fight about it. So there, I watched it. I actually watched it on Thursday. I was playing video games last night. I'm sorry. Really into Horizon Forbidden West right now. So just opening up the map and getting things done. It's great. And I needed a mental break from projects. The most projects I'm working on, or I've worked on this week, is just this show. So taking a little bit of a mental breather. Didn't realize I needed it, but I did. So, video games. That's my distraction right now. Tomorrow, though, little reminder, tomorrow, Jon Does will be on at 6 p.m. instead of 5. Pat will be on, so I'm waiting for him to get off work. But also, I'm going to be location scouting for a short that I'm shooting. Not my short film. It's a sketch. I needed an office, and so I have an opportunity to go look at an office tomorrow, to shoot for 2-3 hours in. So, anyways, She-Hulk started, and again, I wasn't high on I probably pay more attention to the Marvel stuff than most of the people I know. I do consume as much as I can. It's just it's part of my mental handicap. No, I get sucked into these things. I told you I couldn't stop watching the Arrowverse until literally Arrow died. 8 seasons of that. I had to do it. But I'm slightly more picky And I thought the Marvel Cinematic Universe was gonna be helpful, but then they're like, "Psych, we're gonna put like 15 Disney Plus shows out, and you're gonna have to watch all those." Oh, what's up, Ryan? What's going on? You pay more attention to the MCU than anyone I know. Yeah, probably. It's like I said, it's a mental handicap. I mean, I know people that pay more attention to Marvel comics and things like that than I do. But yeah, I think, I pay way too much attention to this stuff. But look, I'm not going to throw out spoilers or anything for any of this. But so far in this first episode, I really liked this show. This might be one of the more fun and entertaining ones. It's totally it's Marvel's, and it sounds weird to say this because I didn't watch this show when I was younger. I would venture to say I probably hated the show when I was younger, but it's kind of like Marvel's Ally McBeal, and I say that lightly. It's a I mean, you can see here on the poster it says She-Hulk Attorney at Law. I mean, it's a legal drama. She does Hulk. She hulks hard, actually. This first episode worked really well because it's the origin. The whole origin is in the first episode. And they get it out of the way. She's great though. She breaks the fourth wall. And I think that's cool. She's kind of setting the tone for, not like we weren't ready for Deadpool, but Deadpool's coming. I mean, Ryan Reynolds was probably one of the only actors that is sticking around from the previous Fox X-Men universe. I mean, he's so popular in that character, it's hard to get rid of him. Lou Ferrigno, the Lou Ferrigno one was my first favorite show ever. Still love it. You know what? He's been involved in a lot of stuff too. I don't remember when he stopped being involved, but it might have been that not the second Thor movie. He has been used, his audio, the growls have been used in dubs. So I think they used him in some of I think the Eric Bana movie and the Edward Norton movie. I'll need to double check on that. But Lou Ferrigno was still doing voiceover stuff in recent times. I'm not gonna say he was part of the MCU or anything like that. Actually, I think he cameos in one. I'm gonna look that up. MCU cameo, because I think he did cameo in one. Yeah. Lou Ferrigno also appeared in the cameo as a security guard in the Universal production. So that would have been the Ang Lee. Yeah, that would have been the Ang Lee Hulk movie with Eric Bana, the first one before the one that came out 2 years or something like that before the Edward Norton one. Which the Edward Norton Hulk is this MCU's Hulk, by the way. I don't know if people remember that, but that is the origin for the Hulk we have now. They just recast, but making She-Hulk funny and postmodern sounds like a good idea. Yeah. I think I'm not super into a ton of Marvel lore or stuff like that, so I'm not as familiar with where this character has been in comics history. I just know she's been around, but I think it's a really good idea. They are, and just based on the trailers and things that people are saying, I think there's going to be a lot of stuff. There was a reveal in the trailer where she's going to have an interaction with Daredevil. So, I mean, I think She-Hulk is probably going to play the role of damage control a bit instead of this organization that cleans stuff up all the time. She's probably just going to be representing all of these super villains and heroes and stuff like that in court. The Ang Lee Hulk wasn't bad. I haven't watched that one in a while. I do remember liking that they did comic book panels basically in their shots. So they do a close up, one part would be I'll try to, the screen would be a close up of the face here, and then the other half would be, I don't know, it was very comic book panel-y. And I remember enjoying that a bit. I was like, wow, it's actually like seeing a comic book. It's like, well, you can open up a comic book. You've got a stack of them over there. Yeah, so, I mean, there's not too much to spoil from episode 1, I would say, other than, like, it's just an origin, and you don't get too much. Honestly, you don't get too much of what the rest of the season is. You just get the setup of who she is, how she got this way, and how she, like, understands herself. You get, like, the whole Hulk, like Bruce Banner, you get to see, like, that progress in just like a short time. But also she's a different person, so she has different, like, character defects or personality than Bruce, and so she doesn't struggle with the rage as much. She doesn't have the dual identity. She's just one entity. But She-Hulk was always pitched as a funnier character, at least in my lifetime. That's all I know of She-Hulk, and so I don't know. I don't know too much about her, but honestly, I think this show stands out for me just in this first episode a little bit more than some of the other Marvel shows. Not that it's like weird and wacky like Loki or WandaVision, but I wish Ang Lee's Hulk had more visual treats like like the paneling you were describing. I thought Nick Nolte was pretty good, given that he's been hit or miss for decades. Yeah, I mean, didn't he have some like gnarly alcoholism problems? I'm not sure. Nick Nolte to me is very similar to Gary Busey in my head. They're like brothers, and Jake Busey is the younger brother, even though it's Gary Busey's son. What did I see him in recently? He was in something recently I saw. Is it Umbrella Academy? I don't remember. So it was like Umbrella Academy or Sandman? No, it wasn't Sandman. I forget. Yeah, so She-Hulk's pretty funny. Actually, the funniest part of She-Hulk episode 1 is the post-credit scene. It's not a big like shocking moment. It's one of those funny tags at the end of like no big cliffhangers or anything like that. It was just there's a reoccurring joke in this episode about Steve Rogers and his virginity. A She-Hulk advertisement from the late 80s has her threatening to come to your house and rip you up and rip up all your X-Men if you didn't buy her book. That's pretty awesome, actually. Really? That's a real advertisement? That's pretty great. Yeah, she's Hulk, but she's a lawyer. I mean, she's not like the smartest person. I don't mean like she's dumb. I just mean she's not like this super smart sciencey character. She's a really like witty lawyer so far in the show, and I really like. I hadn't watched too much Tatiana Maslany. The first time and maybe the only time I've seen her in anything was in an episode of Parks and Rec. And that's a pretty good episode. And she was pretty fun in that episode. And then a lot of people have recommended Orphan Black, where she plays a bunch of different characters, or I don't know, but she plays multiple people in that I guess. So maybe I should go back and check some of that stuff out. But I think she's great in the role. I think she's really funny. And I was worried about CG. Those trailers, the first trailer looked a bit wonky, and I wasn't really thrown off watching the episode. I didn't think any of it looked bad, really. There might be like some kind of iffy spots, but it didn't look terrible. I should rephrase that. The trailer looked bad. The show ended up not looking bad at all. If you're used to seeing this version of Hulk that we've had over the last like 5 years, from like Infinity War, well, Ragnarok. Even Ragnarok, he's kind of designed slightly different. Actually, my least favorite part of Thor Ragnarok, which is still one of my favorite Marvel movies, was the fact that if you listen really closely to the Hulk's voice, this is when they started getting away from the Lou Ferrigno stuff for sure. It's Mark Ruffalo's voice, but they auto-tune it, and you can clearly hear the auto-tune, and it's like, it bugs the shit out of me. It's that one tiny thing in that movie that made me be like, oh man, everything else is great in this movie, but that thing bugged me so bad. And they haven't gone back. I haven't heard that since Thor Ragnarok. But especially in like Infinity War and Endgame, when we last saw Hulk, really, there's been some post-credit stuff. Or like quick clips from other movies where you check in with Bruce. But if you're used to seeing that CGI and it's fine, like the whole show looks like that so far. And yeah, we haven't gotten too far into who the villains are, if there are a single villain. I'm not sure, but I'm actually way excited about this show because it does open a lot of possibilities, and not into the grander scheme of Marvel, of like, oh, all these multiverses and variants and Kang and all this stuff, but like, I'm actually way more excited about seeing like C list characters. I think Frogman is popping up in this show, and some other. In the first episode, there's a clip that's in all the trailers where she's fighting what's her name? Titania, I think is her name, something like that. In the courtroom, that's in the first episode. And there's not a lot of context to it. It's just like a fight scene that happens, and it's pretty fun. But I'm interested in seeing like all of these other like various people popping up. I mean, trailer showed us Daredevil, Frogman. I mean, like, what? I had a Frogman action figure, I think, when I was a kid, and I used to think it was a Ninja Turtle. But yeah, I'm really excited about this because I think this show is kind of our pull back from everything else into the street level stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if I don't think Spider-Man's showing up in this show, but I wouldn't be surprised if you get something like that. Some connection to like the street level stuff, maybe a reference to like, oh, that Spider-Man's out there like saving the streets of New York or whatever. I mean, shoot, I don't know. I've heard some other rumors. Oh, there's one other person confirmed that was in trailers and was announced, I think, when this show was announced. But Emil Blonsky, is that his name? The Abomination. Tim Roth, who played that character in the Eric Bana, not Eric Bana, the Edward Norton Hulk. He's made a couple of appearances already. He was back for a brief minute in Shang-Chi, and he's coming back in this in She-Hulk too. She might be representing him, who knows, as a lawyer. But that'll be interesting. It'll be super interesting. I'm wondering who else we're gonna see. Maybe Jessica Jones or Luke Cage. Or even I actually, one of the rumors that I've kind of heard out there is that they want to, while they keep some of the camera's overheating. Crap. I gotta bounce. I think Colleen Wen is coming back at some point, maybe as the new Iron Fist, and kind of getting rid of the other half of that. But hey, I gotta get out of here. I'm sorry to cut this short, but so to cover everything that we need to, I will be on tomorrow night at 6 p.m. instead of 5. I've got to do some things kind of important. And we'll have a guest. We'll have Pat on tomorrow. And check out wilddinosaur.com to support the channel, and check out the description and the link to donate to Planned Parenthood, because that's a really important cause to me and all the women in our lives, and men too. It's a good health care resource. So anyways, I haven't had this overheat issue problem in a while, so I'm kind of surprised. That's a bummer, but I will see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. So have a good rest of your night, and go watch She-Hulk. I think it's pretty entertaining. Later.